Good morning. Welcome to my garden, Lilac Hill. I am here on the driveway. A nice early morning, and the birds are chirping. There's some beautiful little swallows that have come back to nest, and the neighbors' boxes across the street. And I heard the doves earlier. There's going to be rain today, so I wanted to come out and do a video before the weather changed. This front area is the driveway garden, and this stone wall was put in by the previous builder, the block wall, and it runs all the way down the front of the property. Out front there's also this lovely evergreen tree. This was here. Obviously I did not grow this, and I just think the form of that tree is so fantastic. It's just a big, beautiful element for the garden. So in this bed, this is daisies. There is shaggy Shasta and the standard Shasta. And then there's also a Shasta called Sunny Side Up. And this bed was fairly easy to dig because 6 years ago, or 5.5 years ago, this was all new ground. So it wasn't the hard stone ground that I'm on if I try to dig a new bed just anywhere I want. I can't really do that. The ground here is very hard and difficult to work with. But this was pretty good to dig, and it's been amended with compost. And there's the alliums are just coming into flower. This bed was originally the roses, but the deer wouldn't leave them alone. I never gardened with deer before, or gardened in an area with deer, so they were moved to the sun deck. This is a very old plant, kind of a real dear one to me. It's the platinum blonde lavender, and it's old, but I just let it do its thing in here. I think the variegated foliage is so pretty. Smells really nice. And then down there, some Shastas self-seeded. So I'll take those, that's great. Oh, this little guy here is a upright St. John's wort, Hypercarium, and it suffered with the last frost, but it's coming. Okay, so moving along, this lilac came from Shirley Cole, and she is the master gardener for Powell River. Very famous lady for our area. And this one is the Agincourt Beauty. I bought this plant for this garden for a few years ago, and I think Shirley's lilac, which has one bloom this year, might also be an Agincourt Beauty. Very similar. Hers is quite dark, but I think the buds aren't quite open yet. There's some yew here that a friend didn't want, so they're just add some structure and some evergreen for all year interest. And then again, the Agincourt Beauty, looking so pretty. And it's nice to have, again, plants that the deer don't pester. This one is the Beauty of Moscow, just coming into the buds. Off in the distance, you can see my wonderful old apple tree, and that's the neighbor's red rhododendron. And just peeking out of the corner of the house is a very large rhododendron, and I will do a video on that when that plant is open. It is just starting to open now, and it's a very large specimen of rhododendron. This is Madame Limone, and I apologize if I did not pronounce that correctly. It is white, and I love how much room it's got here on the corner to just fill out and do what it wants. Okay, so coming up the hill here, this corner has the hydrangea Bacophilia. It is just coming into bud. I have to get my structures on here. Last year this plant flopped over. And yeah, get structures in early. That's what we're told. Get supports in early. This one is the lace cap. The little heather bed always does well here. And then a little rhododendron that just finished. So over here now, there's more lilac. This is blue meringue, and it's just starting to come into bud. It is a Proven Winners plant that is a cut and come again lilac, which I think is fun because you can cut them for the house. It scents the house. Lilac scents, puts beautiful scent throughout the home. And the Daphne just finishing. But I was very happy with the Daphne considering the cold. And this is from Diana Wood, well-known gardener for our area. And I'm happy to see that it made it through winter. There's still some daffodils in here, just finishing. I'll pop its seed head off. And the little white one. This is a nice little double yellow. Looks really pretty. They're so charming and wonderful. Nice way to bring in spring. This is Miss Kim. And more green than flower. So again, just probably more pruning, and it probably is living in too happy of good quality soil. This bed is well amended, so it's probably growing more foliage than flower because it's in high nutrition soil. This is coming into bud. This is Rose of Sharon Blushing Bride. It's a beautiful double Rose of Sharon. And then this is a Royal Wedding Poppy that I did move and didn't get all of the pieces, but that's fine. It'll give a beautiful gray purple flower. Little daffodils just going over. And then this is a plant I'm so happy with. It is a flowering almond, and it is a Prunus glandulosa, and it is in the plum family. And look at its beautiful buds, flowers. This plant is very old. I've had this for over 20 years. Came from a lady named Edie Hollis, very well-known gardener from Pitt Meadows. And not only does it have lots of flowers on it, it's also got lots of growth. So that's fantastic to see. This is a lilac, one of the first ones I put in, Charles Jolie, and it is just fantastic. The lilac from the Shirley Cole cutting down on the driveway could actually be a Charles Jolie as well. They do look similar, but who cares? They're just fantastic. And I put a lilac here because I wanted to have a plant the scent of lilac when you came out the door. And it's doing very well in its planting hole. This bed was put in to be a spring bulb bed. Originally we just had the plants in the ground, and then when we put the gravel in, we decided a bed was needed here to contain the spring bulbs. There's lots of hyacinths that are finished in here. Oh, look at, still one more. Still one more to open. That's not nice. Okay, there's one more area I want to share with you. Come around the patio that is going down this summer for sure. Okay, so over here we have a new structure. We have the hostel enclosure my husband built, the arch we brought with us, the blue shed, or little summer house I like to call it, was done a few years ago, but this is the new structure for the garden. And this is going to be a glass window, old window greenhouse. I asked my husband for something a little bit higgly-piggly that we could just slap up in the garden. And my husband doesn't do higgly-piggly. My husband does structures. And he loves to build. So this went in the ground. These posts have gone into the ground for 2 feet. And then we use pressure-treated lumber around the base for moisture. This is going to have a stone floor or maybe an old brick floor. And it is 8 feet by 5 feet. This is the door. We put the door here. We really debated where the door should go. But with the pathways, it just kind of makes sense. As you're coming up the hill, you're almost automatically drawn to curve to that area. So I think that it's going to look really good with all its old windows in it. And I'll be able to view out over the garden. This is the beautiful lavender lady lilac. That is my favorite plant. I have to tell you, this is gorgeous. This is just fantastic. What a beauty. And it looks so good against the euphorbia down here, the purple and the yellow. And then when I have windows in this little glass house, it's just going to be so pretty. The windows are both store-bought, well, they're reclaimed. I'm just watching where I'm walking, and free. Oh, robin just landed. So the window, the orange window in the little summer house, which was built on the location of an old tin shed, is one of the examples of one of the windows we got for free. We got 6 windows for free on the side of the road. The first day we moved here, I don't even think the car was unpacked. We'd gone down the road to get groceries, and there were windows on the side of the road. So we put them in the back of the vehicle, we stored them, and now we've been using them in our structures. And they just are just fantastic. So I'm so excited to share this building. It's going to block the telephone pole off in the distance. And I think it's just a beautiful new addition to the garden. It's going to look like, when I'm done my planting, it's actually going to look like it's in the garden. That was the whole idea. And the horseshoe now will go around. The gravel will still go. I'm not taking any of this out. But as you come around to the little building here on the what is the side now, this won't have any access, but here I can put maybe a beautiful climbing vine that'll come up and fill this area. So I'll have a focal point at this stop, and I might be able to even do a path, maybe carry on a little path right through there. So it'll really immerse. I want the new building to be part of the garden, look like it's in the garden. And then I'll just show you the beautiful leopard's bane and how well it's doing in the corner. The rhododendrons are just coming into bud, and there is the leopard's bane. So thank you for watching.